Steam Next Fest is a celebration of upcoming games featuring a whole plethora of free demos for indie games that are upcoming or coming out soon. This last one actually just ended, so you just missed it, but I'm going to talk about some of my favorite demos, and some of the demos may still be available, so I'll leave a list of every game below. Let's just get right into it. One of my absolute favorite demos from this fest was Another Crab's Treasure, developed and published by Aggro Crab. I actually played their last game, which is a roguelike called Going Under. I played this a couple years ago, and I think it's a really underrated roguelike that I actually don't really see people talk about that often. Aggro Crab has a really unique, cartoony style, and the music is always fucking banging. What the fuck, this song is insanely good. Immediately with Another Crab's Treasure, you can tell that their style has only improved since Going Under, with a really clean UI. I love this typography. I'm a big fan of typography. And the main character, Krill, is so cute. Look at him, he's so cute. This game is a Souls-like, so if you're familiar with those kind of games, you'll see a lot of similarities with many of the mechanics, but there's a lot of new things added here, like different shells you can pick up having different skills, fun little grapple hook mechanics. I thought this was a clean and enjoyable experience. As someone who is absolutely dog shit at Souls-like games, I thought this was pretty accessible. I made it through the demo, beating all the bosses that I'm pretty sure were all there, and I just generally had a nice time. I did run into a couple bugs with getting stuck, and also these ranged fuckers are the worst, but overall, I'm looking forward to this game. Outpath is an incremental clicker base building game very much akin to something like Forager, which is a game I absolutely loved and played a few years ago now. Now, this game actually came out a day after Steam Next Fest ended, and that was a good strategy because I had to actually stop myself from playing this game to keep working on this video. It is really good. Right at the start, this game looks fantastic. It has a really cute and clear visual style. Crafting and gathering is really satisfying because of the sound design and the UI in general. The soundtrack is really calming, and so far the progression is just really good. If you haven't played Forager, it follows a similar gameplay loop in which it's all about scaling. Right at the start of the game, you're holding down the mouse button to collect all these different resources. You're crafting your first tools, you're getting your first workbenches, and after about an hour, I'm starting to get these things called breakers, which will break stuff for me. I'm getting different skills, different artifacts. I'm scaling up my tools. I'm getting a bigger island, and I think you slowly get more and more automated as you unlock more and more stuff. And it's such an addicting experience collecting new items, unlocking new recipes, getting new mechanics. It's so much fun. I already bought it, so what else can I say? Now, it's been a minute since I've talked about Bullet Heavens or games like Vampire Survivors, but Deep Rock Galactic Survivor was really good. Now, it's been a minute since I've played these kind of games. The last one I played a decent amount was Brotato, and that's a really good game. I honestly need to play it more. I have so much more shit to do in it. But these days, I do tend to lean a bit skeptical on the genre since the formula exploded in the indie scene and there is a lot of Bullet Heavens now. I mean, there were so many demos that took this formula. So I will be honest and say I did have a level of doubt that this game would be interesting. I'm a huge fan of Deep Rock, and I can easily say this game is worth your time. Now, this demo, we only had a certain amount of difficulties and only the scout class, but even then, I wanted to just grind it out and unlock a bunch of shit. This game isn't developed by Ghost Ship Games, but whoever is did a really good job on translating mechanics from the main game over to this new genre, featuring a lot of the original weapons and some new additions, which is actually pretty cool, and I wonder if we would ever see those in the main game. Probably not. But you also have this mining aspect, which is honestly really engaging because you have abilities that interact with these two currencies. It's worth to kind of greed and delay a wave just to get more resources before you leave, because once you finish the main objective of the stage, you only have 30 seconds to leave for the drop pod. So you have this really interesting gameplay of the usual Vampire Survivors kiting and board management, and also trying to get as much resources as you can so you can visit the shop in between stages. Each run you go to 5 different stages, the last one being a Dreadnought boss, which is really cool. It seems like they have a lot of planned content for this game. I'm honestly really excited to get into this because there's a lot of interesting ways to interact with your run. You have overclocks for your guns, you have different artifacts, and definitely going to be wishlisting this one. Cursorblade was another interesting spin on the bullet heaven genre. Your main character is your cursor and you have full reign to move it all over the screen, but enemies are usually stationary and move between neutral to attacking, or they'll shoot projectiles at you and shit. This game had really cute graphics, really cute style, and seemed pretty interesting, so I think worth checking out if you like the bullet heaven genre. There was another bullet heaven I played, which is very similar to the aforementioned Brotato, called Black Gunner Wukong. Now, yes, that is ancient deity Wukong holding 6 miniguns. I don't know if I would actually get this game, but the demo was an absolute blast. I'm just gonna play some of my reactions to the shit I was seeing in this game. Who's that guy running up? What? Am I dying? Oh shit, I was in that rock? What the? Yo, this game is crazy. Does that say Transformation Tyrannosaurus Rex? What the fuck? This is crazy. Oh my god. It's huge. Look at this. What the fuck? Summon 10 motorized infantry from India. Okay. What? SENTRY is a first-person shooter tower defense game, which is really similar to games like Orcs Must Die or Dungeon Defenders, which I have a bit of experience with both of those games. I played through Orcs Must Die 2 a couple years ago and I really enjoyed it. A lot of the mechanics in SENTRY are pretty similar. You have wall traps, ceiling traps, and a majority of the DPS is expected to be from your character actually. But sitting down with this game, I actually had a really good time learning its mechanics and going through the maps. The levels in the demo had one exit with multiple entrances for the enemies to spawn, and of course a lot of quirks with the maps that you could play with, like holes that you can push enemies into, or shortcuts that let you go quickly from point A to point B. This game felt really satisfying. The animations were good, the sounds were good, and I'm expecting the launch of it to be pretty good. Cobalt Core was one of the few deck builders I played this time around, and I thought it was pretty neat. I like this cute little cat character, that's fun. The gameplay seems different enough to me that it was actually pretty interesting. This game is 1v1 ship battles, and your cards are different attacks or movement abilities, and I really do like that focus on movement, because you don't really see that in these kind of deck builders. And also being able to target certain enemy actions is pretty cool. There was a couple moments in this demo where I really felt like I had outplayed the AI because I'm so smart and so good at this game. I only had time to do one run of this game, but I thought it was neat and I might check it out in the future. My Work Is Not Yet Done is a narrative-driven investigative horror game, which leans heavily into a surrealist and emotional kind of angle. The demo here is really short, but the presentation is amazing. You're mostly just introduced to the main premise of the game. You're playing as an environmental scientist investigator person. Get really deep into their thoughts and discover that a coworker or a friend had recently gone missing, quote unquote. The pixel ASCII art landscape was just so dense and amazing to look at. I actually got lost at the first 15 minutes and didn't even walk to the station. I was just taking in the environment. It started raining on me and it made the screen all fucked up and the audio all garbled, and I thought that was really great for the ambience of the demo. I just played through Silent Hill 2, which I might do a video on in the future, but I think it helped me appreciate the slower pace of these narratively driven survival horror games. But everything surrounding the game is also pretty clean. The animations are really smooth. I like when you pause the game, you get this kind of overview thermal cam and the menus look like a camera manual. That's pretty cool. And as I said, it's very narrative focused, so it is a click on something and read a journal entry about the character's thoughts kind of game. And the sequence after you put your character to bed was a bit shocking. This game definitely has a unique aesthetic, and I'm going to be keeping my eye on it. And now for the grand finale, a game that I didn't see in any threads talking about the Steam Next Fest, I didn't see on Twitter, I was just downloading random multiplayer games, but Lethal Company was amazing and hands down the best experience from Steam Next Fest, period. Double period. It's a co-op horror game somewhat similar to games like Phasmophobia, which I don't have much experience with. I know of it, I never played it, but Lethal Company is about scavenging abandoned facilities on different moons to sell scrap to reach a profit quota, and if you don't, you get fucking ejected.
What is that?
Oh shit!
Hey, see you guys. Good luck at McDonald's.
It's a pretty simple premise. You have up to 4 players, you go inside a fucking building and you try to loot as much as you can without getting killed by multiple monsters. But a really cool aspect of this game is the terminal in the ship. Now while you can send all 4 people into these facilities, you can also have one person stay back and monitor each different person. The person at the monitor can see monsters, loot, you can converse with your fellow coworkers over the walkie-talkies, which is just really fun in general. You know, this is a game made by one person, the graphics aren't the best, but it was still so immersive. Trying to communicate with people over walkie-talkies while assessing the situation and typing on the terminal, switching cameras, looking up information about different monsters. This game was just really sick.
I'm gonna get the fuck out of here.
Alright, we need help. We made it past. We need help getting out.
Alright, behind you guys there's a monster. Be careful. Run.
I'm finna whip this.
I'm dead. I played many multiple hour sessions of this game, and even after playing for a pretty decent amount, I feel like there's so much more to learn and do in this game with different equipment you can buy and upgrades you can buy. I'm really looking forward to when it drops on October 23rd. And that pretty much wraps up my Steam Next Fest experience. Again, I'm going to leave links below. Make sure to wishlist games you're interested in. It really gives these devs good metrics to look at. And also I want to say, if you play a small game and you really like it, leave a review. There's certain positive review thresholds that games reach to get more exposure on Steam, so it really helps out if you just leave a review. Even if you don't have much to say, just write something you like about it, and it can really help out devs a lot. Played a lot of great demos this time around, and if I missed any that I should have played, you can let me know down in the comments below. Anyways, that's all for me. Have a good day, and I'll see you.